So welcome back, Drifters. Today we're back in the garage because last episode we were building this LS engine, and today that engine's going in my dad's truck. Problem is I gotta get it all the way from my house to his house, and well, that's always a fun little struggle bus ride. Let's take this engine and plop it in the truck. Boy, that was a lot harder than it looked. So this is one of those rare moments where I actually made it out of the garage, and go figure, I forgot to bring my batteries. So I'm gonna have to film this entire thing on the battery pack in this camera. God, I hope it lasts. Okay, so try to tell me why it is I forget my camera battery, but I remember to bring the bread. So needless to say, my forgetfulness knows no bounds. Well, while the bread's breaking? Why can't I talk? Well, while the bread's baking, that's a hard sentence, let's go ahead and get the engine out of here and put it in the truck.
Hey, are you recording? Yeah. Well, it's not facing there.
It was. So wouldn't you know it, I forgot the bolts to put this thing into the truck. So we gotta go all the way back to the house and come back out, so yay. Now, I'm about 2 seconds away from growing myself a unibrow and calling myself Rick.
Lick, lick, lick my balls! Yeah!
But anyway, last night was quite the fiasco. We ended up having to run all the way back to get the bolts. We got the bolts, and then we came back out. We were trying to put the engine in, and my God, did we run into a lot of issues. It turned out that when we were trying to set this thing in there, we couldn't get the angle of the transmission right. And when we were going to set it up, it was trying to line up the dowels, and it just wasn't happening. We weren't able to get it because it started getting dark. Couldn't see anything. And then I happened to notice something. We discovered that the rear trans mount is completely broken. Like, that ain't right. So the transmission is in the total wrong position. And then to add insult to injury, we were using a scissor jack to try to level this thing off because the regular jack failed. So that's why I brought this. So hopefully this thing will make it a little bit easier. But we did manage to get this thing in here. It's basically sitting pretty close to the engine mounts down here. So you'll notice down there, we're really close to getting it on the engine mounts. We just need a little bit more to go and we should be good. So what I got going on right now is this jack is holding the front end of the engine to tilt it upwards because we're having trouble lining up the very back of this thing. And then I got this jack holding the actual transmission up. And then I'm basically using a bolt to run them both together on both sides because the dowels weren't quite lining up. But yeah, it's quite the struggle.
Huh?
It's starting to work, but I'm having to do a lot of back and forth. It's going in finally. Whew. That's at least on enough that I can get the other bolts on. I think it's the engine mount that's twisted because it seems weird that we'd be able to get the one and not the other. That's doing it. Oh, God, dropped a bolt. Oh well, whatever, I got another one. I think I got the thread started. If you could wiggle it just a little bit. Well, hard to in this position. Okay, so good news is we got all the bell housing bolts on. Now what I need to do is replace the trans mount. I got a whole bunch of other little things I got to tighten up, but long story short, it's one of the longest rides on the struggle bus, but we're going to get there eventually. Loosening?
Yeah. I'm gonna wrench my back doing it.
You want me to get it?
Hold on.
I can get a breaker bar.
Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah, this should do it. Guess what? It doesn't go in the hole.
Well, try the other side.
Okay.
You want me to grab it from back here?
No, I got it.
Okay.
That was awesome. I guess we'll do that on the other side too, huh?
Yeah.
It's like you gotta use your fingers, both of them, to get it out. It's crazy. Everything's an issue, you know?
That's how it is.
Holy cow, how deep is this damn socket?
I don't know.
There we go. All right. You're good. Just loosen. Where are you at, bud?
Hang on, I got my hands full.
How could you have your hands full? It's only a bolt. Are you fingering it?
I'm trying. There we go. Okay.
Did you take the other one off yet?
Working on it. I'm working
Man, what
on
the
it.
hell? Is that hard?
Hey, you know, we can't all be as talented as you.
You're gonna try to do that over your left shoulder like that? You're nuts. You hurt your left shoulder.
Maybe so. I got her.
Heard that before.
There we go. So just to let you all know, trans mounts are kind of a pain in the ass. I wonder what else hasn't been replaced on this thing. And sorry if I'm not showing everything I'm doing. I just figure that if somebody was rebuilding their engine and they already tore everything apart, they could pretty much figure out how to put it back together. So that's why I'm not going too in detail here. Because, you know, if you took it apart, you should be able to put it back. Although I guess that is kind of the hardest part.
18 foot-pounds.
18 foot-pounds? Them bitches were locked on there.
Yeah, I think we should do whatever we want, like 40.
I mean, this is an aluminum housing, so you don't want to go too crazy, but I'm just going to do Guten-Tight. Guten-Tight's one of the best frickin' tightness says can't screw it up. Well, you can, but there you go. That's good and tight. Nice. It's got to be tight enough. Now I'm just going to lower this sucker down and hopefully not drop it on my face. At least that's the plan. Okay. Wait a second. Did I just put that through with the nut on, or did I put... I don't know what the fuck I did. Why is everything always harder than it has to be? Yeah, that's tight enough. All right, cool. Beautiful, we're on there. All right, trans mount replaced. So I just discovered that the carrier bearing's blown. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Yep, it's day 3 of this crap. Let me tell you, yesterday, I have never cussed at a vehicle as hard as I have at this truck. It has given me so much pain. I literally spent 3 hours trying to get 2 engine mount bolts in. Mainly because, well, if you see there's a little dent in the front of the bumper. Part of the frame was slightly tweaked, so it wasn't quite lining up, and it was a pain. But let me tell you, I think that the GM engineers that design these trucks and designed all their crap that they do, I swear they do things just because they hate mechanics. Like, I bet they had a board meeting about this, and they were just sitting there and talking about ways that they can just screw over mechanics. Kind of like this. Okay, gentlemen, what we need to do is we need to develop the best, most reliable work vehicle that we can come up with. We're going to call it a dang Silverado, and it's going to be amazing. So I had an idea, and I was thinking, you know what we should do? Is we should take this thing and make it impossible to work on. Doesn't that kind of defeat the whole point of making a reliable work truck? Well, exactly. We're going to make it to where it's so good that it never breaks down, so you never have to work on it. Because if you do have to work on it, it's going to be impossible. That sounds like a horrible idea. Why would we ever do that? I mean, really, we should make this thing super easy to work on. What, do you want me to make it like a Ford so it breaks down all the time? Is that what you want? No, that's not at all what I want. I just want it to be like a reliable vehicle so that way when our customers buy the vehicle, they don't have to worry about things being difficult to work on because things break. Oh, I get it. So you want this thing to break down frequently. That way we can sell them more parts in the service department. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that I want you to make a reliable vehicle that's easy to work on so that way the general workforce has a reliable vehicle that they can use for daily work. That's it. Okay, well, can I at least turn the bell housing bolts into studs? And why would we do that? Because fuck mechanics, that's why. Sounds good enough to me. Let's do it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to working on this thing. I still got to get the intake in, a whole bunch of other little things, but it shouldn't be too bad. I got most of it done, so now we're just kind of getting to the finish line and hopefully starting this thing today because I don't want to have to do this another day. So I got to tell you, this thing has really been testing me because I just got done putting in the intake, the injectors, all the coil packs, everything, just to realize that, oh, this part of the intake that blocks all the heat from getting to the knock sensors, yeah, it fell out when I was putting it in, and have to redo the whole thing. Nothing is going easy on this truck today, boy, let me tell you. And now you can go happily deep inside there. The moths love me, I guess. Or they love my light, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go finish this thing. Okay, so, I know. Day 4. It's always the small things when you're doing this engine swap stuff or rebuilding engines that you forget about, like for instance these EGR gaskets. For some reason I assumed that they were in the kit that I bought, but they weren't, and of course these things weren't available anywhere, so I had to drive all over town today just to find them, but I eventually got them, and now I'm going to be able to finish this thing and hopefully get it started very soon. So I'm going to finish tidying this thing up, and then we're going to start working on priming the engine and getting ready to start this thing. So hopefully I can do it before it gets dark, but we'll see. It was all your fault. It was your fault. I hate you. But in all reality, I absolutely hate these clamps more than anything. I don't know what engineer down at GM designed these hose clamps, but you know what? I don't like you. I don't like you. But anyway, let's get back to it. Can't believe it, but it's finally time to pour in the oil. We are so close to starting this thing. I can't even tell you how excited I am. I'm pretty sure everything's gonna go fine, but you just never know with these things. Okay, so Texas has the most bipolar weather patterns there is. Like, this is ridiculous. I was wearing shorts and a cutoff, and it is freezing out. I told my dad, I said, you watch, on the last day it's gonna snow. It may not be snowing, but damn it, it's cold enough it could be. It may as well should be. But anyway, right now what I've got going on is I've got the fuel pump fuse pulled, and I unhooked all the coils, so we're not gonna have any spark. We're gonna go ahead and turn the motor over just to get it primed, and then we'll hook everything back up and try to start it. So let's go see what happens. It is so cold. I am so not used to this, but that's okay. I don't hear the fuel pump, so that's a good sign. Here we go. Come on. It's cranking. A little bit weak. Okay, so I don't want to push it too far, but I think what we're going to do is now I'm going to go hook everything up, and fingers crossed we'll be okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, everything's hooked up. Moment of truth. Please don't blow up. Please. Ooh. Ooh. Oil pressure, we got oil pressure. So just in case any of y'all thought I was full of shit, nope, it's actually got over 360,000 miles. And that right there is some good oil pressure, decent temperatures and voltages. The only thing, I need to add a little bit of coolant. It looks good. I think we're actually in the clear. I'm gonna let this thing idle for a bit and warm up. I'm gonna go check, make sure there isn't anything too crazy going on. Sounds pretty good right now. There's a little bit of a lifter cap, but that's pretty normal. It's pretty fresh. So I hear what sounds like a little bit of an exhaust leak maybe, but not too bad. Okay, so I think the ticking has finally gone away. I was nervous there for a little bit. It turned out that one of the spark plugs in the back, I talked to my dad, and he actually stripped one on there one time, so the threads were completely jacked. I tried to clean up the threads as best I could, got that spark plug in there as far as I could, and now I think the ticking's gone, and I think it was just we were losing compression from that cylinder. So sounds pretty good though. Let me go show you. How's that for a nice purring engine? I don't hear a single tick. Listen to that. It's just purring. Oh my god. It sounds so good. So y'all might not have any idea just how much of a pain this truck has been to me. But this right here is what makes it all worth it, okay? This thing is purring. It sounds amazing. You'd never guess that this truck originally had 360,000 miles on it. I mean, listen to that thing. It's beautiful. I mean, I am freezing my ass off right now. This build has tested me. And all it's shown is that I am too stupid to quit, okay? I am too stupid to quit, but there's a good reason for it. I mean, look, this truck runs. I mean, listen to that exhaust. Don't mind that, it's just cold. I guess the last thing we gotta do is really take this thing for a quick drive. So let's go do it. We're driving under our own power. It's idling pretty good. Doesn't sound too bad. Boy, I do not like having limo tint windows in this thing. Holy crap, you can't see shit. Outside of the fact that I can't see shit, this thing's actually driving pretty good. It's going under its own power. So far, I may have to adjust the detent cable on the transmission side because it's a little bit lacking on wanting to shift when I tell it to, but other than that, the engine feels great. Oil pressure's great. We're sitting right at like 40, which is a little bit high, but I guess that's just because it's a fresh build. It's a whole hell of a lot better than what it was getting, because originally this thing was getting like, I want to say like 15 to 20 psi at idle, and right now we're sitting at about 35 to 40, so that's a pretty good improvement, I'd say. Not too bad. Shift. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, so it is struggling a little bit to shift, so I may have to adjust that. But other than that, it sounds really good. I don't know how much of this you guys can see, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. That is such a relief, knowing that this thing actually runs. It runs, it drives. Like, sure, it's got a few little issues. I gotta tighten up the little cable for the transmission. I gotta change the oil, put in some braking oil. But outside of that, like, this thing sounds so good. I don't think this truck has ever sounded this good since we've had it. I wish my dad was here so I could have gotten his reaction, but he's actually going to see my brother out in California right now. But, yeah, it's just... It is so nice knowing that this thing's actually running finally. It is such a huge relief. I know I probably didn't show everything because, well, if you did see everything, it was probably unwatchable because it was nothing but me just cussing at this truck for about 12 hours a day for the last 4 days. But it's done, so it's running, we're good. And you know what that means? That means that here in the next couple of days, I'll be able to start working on the Mustang again. But I'm taking 2 days off, okay? I'm taking 2 days because for the last 3 weeks, I've been working nonstop on this stuff. I worked for 3 weeks straight, and I got 2 videos out of it. That is so frustrating. I'm called the Daily Drift, and I do, not even weekly videos here. I'm trying, guys. I am really trying to step up this game, but it is so hard. It is so hard sometimes when this stuff happens, but you know what? It doesn't matter because we're going to keep pushing through it. We're going to keep working towards our goals. We're going to keep crossing them off because you know what? I still plan on sticking to that plan I got that I wrote on January 1st, and so far, making pretty good progress. So, but anyway, I'm going to get headed out. I hope you're having a great day, and if not, I hope that my video at least put a smile on your face to some degree, because at least if I could do that, then that means that all this pain and suffering that I just went through was worth it, okay? If I can at least bring a smile to your face, then maybe it'll bring one to mine, you know what I'm saying? That's all we need, is just to spread a little bit of joy in this world, okay? There's too much negativity out there, and I know I'm not always the best at being positive, but hey, let's do it, okay? Have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Maybe click the videos, or subscribe, or... No, don't hit report. What are you doing? Stop, don't do that.